We have confirmed video recordage. Audio's working. Excellent. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
If there's one thing that I know, it's never to mess with Mother Nature, mother-in-laws, or mother freaking Ukrainians.
I know you are frustrated, and I know you look dopey in short pants.
The Morning Stream.
That's the level of stupid we're looking for. Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for Monday, August 5th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson, and Brian Dunaway is here also.
Well, hello. Happy brand new week to you and all of you.
Yeah, man. It's, new week, new chances at life, new opportunities. We'll see how we did by Thursday, but,
Did we use all of those opportunities afforded to us this week in this brand new week, or did we just let them fritter away?
Yeah, like that's the thing. You don't want to, a fritter, dude.
Fritter away.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper fritter. It's been
I love a good fritter.
a couple years since I've had a fritter.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's good to have everybody here. Hope you're all well. Birthday boy here got to see the Foo Fighters over the weekend.
Woohoo!
I think you should talk about that. What was that like at the Mile High Stadium?
Oh, so good. What a great show. And Dave Grohl, man. Sure, it was 90-something degrees even at 7:30 when they took the stage. Actually, it came out 7:40, and they played for nearly 3 hours. They left. They played the last song, Everlong, wrapped up at 10:30. So 7:40 to 10:30, 2 hours and 50 minutes, I think, is what that comes out to. Constant. And he was sweaty during the first song, and it just went. We watched the dude lose like 5-6 pounds just on stage there, running around on stage.
Yeah.
But they did everything you'd want to hear him do. They, I said on Film Sack, they did some snippets of covers as Dave introduced the members of the band, but I also forgot that they started out little acoustic set, and Dave impromptu started doing this is the one thing where they veered off the playlist that you see on setlist.fm. He veered away and started playing the Tenacious D tribute.
Oh, the tribute song.
The greatest song in the world, because of course he played drums on that one fairly famously, and he basically got through about half the song and said, "I don't know any more of this song. I only play drums."
So it sounds like he's having a little improv fun up there.
A lot of improv fun, yeah. And he sounds incredible. Like I said, the band was tight. They sounded great. Pretenders opened up for him, and I was worried about the set list on this one because I glanced at it as well, and it looks like on the previous legs of the tour, they were doing a lot of new stuff. They have a brand new album, Retaliation or something, that came out last year. Pretenders did, and I've listened to it. None of it's really grabbed me as much as their older stuff, and so I was very pleasantly surprised when they opened with a new song and then proceeded to just go hit after hit after hit. Back on the Chain Gang, Back to Ohio, Kids, Stop Your Sobbing. The one thing that they surprisingly didn't do was Brass in Pocket, which was kind of their breakout hit, but maybe she just doesn't like doing that one. Or maybe, I wonder if we missed it because we were meeting friends and they were getting to the stadium. They ended up getting to the parking area kind of late, and they just said, go on without us. We're probably gonna be 15-20 minutes late, and we didn't want to miss the train. So we're like, no problem. We'll see you at our seats. And as we were coming up the ramp to level 5 at Mile High Stadium, Pretenders took the stage. I had to go to the bathroom before we sat down, so we missed like the first song and a half. And I wonder if she did a little bit of Brass in Pocket after the opening, and I just didn't hear it.
Might have. So you were telling me, I think it was you that told us this on Film Sack, that the drummer for them now is like the ex-Devo guy, or was a Devo guy?
Yeah. God, what's the dude's name?
That really surprised me. I don't know why. It just seems like such a different not genre, but like
it totally does.
Yeah.
I mean,
weird combo.
But this guy, what is it? Is it let's see, Josh Freese? Is that right?
Josh
And
Freese.
Josh Freese, not just Devo, Offspring, 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
But his longest tenure was with Devo, I believe.
Okay.
That's
really interesting. So that makes sense, though. It sounds like he's kind of an I'll fit wherever you want me kind of drummer.
Yeah, and he's, like when Dave was introducing him, he says, "I could tell you all the albums that you've heard this guy on, but hope you're wearing comfortable shoes because it's going to be a long night, folks." Let's see here. Devo since 1996. So not in the heyday of Devo, not in the 80s Devo.
Okay.
Weezer, Sublime with Rome, Sting, The Offspring, Danny Elfman, Guns N' Roses, Perfect Circle.
Damn, that dude is everywhere. Holy crap.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
Like not just genres, but times. Like
Time, exactly.
wow.
Replacements. I mean, you look at this guy's resume. Jeez Louise. Avril Lavigne, Kelly Clarkson, Ween.
Wait, he played for the Replacements, also the opening band. Was that like kind of a reunion for him then? Or not Replacements, sorry, the Pretenders. Yeah, I got them mixed up.
They pretended to be the Replacements.
They were Replacement Pretenders. Is how that worked out.
Right. Good Charlotte, Evanescence, and Michael Bublé. Like in time,
Wow.
How about that for an incredible...
Adam in the chat says he was on Star Search. That's cool.
Really? I wonder if that's how he got his start. Jeez.
I don't know how many. It'd be fun to go back and look at all the Ed McMahon Star Search stuff and see who actually is still working.
Yeah.
Like got their start there and stayed.
Probably a lot more than came from American Idol and The Voice. I mean, not everybody's a Kelly Clarkson or a Daughtry or a who's the Hudson, Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson, yeah, she's still doing stuff.
Triple threat, Jennifer Hudson. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's acting now more than she sings, right? Or do I
think so. I don't know what the last thing. I mean, I know she's. Oh, she was in a. Was she in one of the Sex and the City deals? Like she came in as kind of a pseudo Samantha replacement.
Oh, maybe.
Kim Cattrall.
Might have.
Not really. Just. Yeah, kind of a new character. Plus, they had a person of color problem there. With,
oh yeah, that was a very white show for a long time.
Yeah.
Whitest of shows.
Rainbow Bright says Beyonce started on Star Search. Wow, that's cool.
Is that real? Jeez. Is that true? Wow. Would that have been with her the band with what was the name of the group? Before she went on her own, they were called
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. Is that who they performed as? That's interesting.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, if it was all three of them, Betty. Oh, I'll never remember the other members of Destiny's Child.
I don't either.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. They're
Michelle
like
Williams.
They're like the other Dipsy Chips. They're just you don't know their names.
The Dipsy Chips.
That's what my kids called them growing up. They loved the Dipsy Chips. We'd be in the car and they go, "Can you play Dipsy Chips?" I'm like, "All right, we will." Well, that's great, dude. I'm glad you had a good time, and what a deal. I always wonder. You mentioned this a little bit, but with the heat and the elevation, it seems like a band would really have to be prepped for that.
For sure. He even joked about that. He says, they told me, man. They said, watch out for the altitude and F that. Dave is what an incredible showman. Like he interacted with the audience almost between every song and told us, this was the biggest Foo Fighters show they've ever had. In the 30 years that they've been a band, this was the biggest venue / largest attendance. I don't know what the actual attendance was, but Mile High Stadium, or Empower Field at Mile High is the official name. I think on a full day when they're using the full stadium seats, somewhere between 75 and 80,000 people, and they had about a quarter of it blocked off because of the stage.
But the stage was
so I don't know if this was about a 50 to 60,000 attendance.
It looked pretty packed, like full. The rest of it anyway.
Full. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All 5 levels, like
just
completely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then the floor, like the field, completely full of seats. And in some of those seats, the Nunnallys, Rusty and Shelley,
Oh, nice.
Who are in town for that concert. We're going to see them on Thursday. We're going to go see Borderlands with the two of them.
Ooh,
so it should be interesting.
Scary. I say scary because I just don't know. I don't know.
I know.
There's so many things like about it that I want to like. Like I like the actors. Yeah. Everybody in it I like a lot. But then it's Eli Roth directing it, and he is so hit and miss for me.
He really is. And I'm not. I've maybe played 30 minutes of Borderlands and decided, this is maybe not for me. So if it's a how well will it adhere to the game itself? I won't know. I won't be a good example to know that. If the movie holds up on its own, which it needs to do in this kind of, you can't just have a movie that caters just to the people who are familiar with the game. So it'll be interesting to see that, but I don't know.
It's the core of the game is a very weird combination of wasteland, Mad Max stuff, and science fiction. And it's and sometimes it's an uneasy alliance of those two things. It worked really well in Borderlands 2. I felt like Borderlands 2 is maybe the peak of the series. I've played all 3. 3 was good, but the writing was pretty lousy in 3.
Do the games have a touch of the comedy?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So it's
tons
kind
of
of tongue in cheek.
And I would argue they're not it's not the most. How do I put this? It's not very sophisticated comedy. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of pretty not lowbrow in the traditional sense, but like it's pretty common denominator, low hanging fruit kind of comedy.
Gotcha. Sure.
Whether the movie will exceed that and do better at that, I don't know. I mean, you got what's his name in there. Can't think of his name.
Jack Black is
Claptrap. But who's the little short comedian? Can't think of his name.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Jeez. Kevin Hart. Makes me think they're going to go for a lot of sort of loud, quippy comedy.
Yeah, right. It's going to be a lot of. Right.
Yeah. It is interesting though. Oh, Rainbow Bright says exactly what I was about to say. A lot of people have assumed that this was some TV show coming to like Prime or something because it looks like one of those, right?
The Fallout, having this and Fallout, even though they're different, but having them come out so close together, I was even confusing the two. And before Fallout came out, Oh yeah, I forgot we got Jamie Lee Curtis in this thing.
Kate Blanchett. Yeah, we love both of them.
Ariana Greenblatt.
Ooh, Ariana Greenblatt. Oh, she's
Ariana Greenblatt.
She's the young.
She's Tiny Tina is in this thing, and she's we know her from.
Yeah, what am I thinking of? Something recent that she was great
Ahsoka.
in.
Oh, Love and Monsters, maybe.
Was that
We saw her on FilmSec for 65, the Adam Driver deal.
Oh, that's right. She was great. She was a high point of that otherwise not great movie.
Yes.
That movie was rough. I don't think it was the cast fault, but. That movie kind of sucked.
Oh, and she's young Gamora. The balance of life in the universe is like this knife. Here, take this knife and try to kill me with it later.
That's right. Thank you, young Gamora.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. She got the funky. Because she's an alien, obviously, but she's got the weird ears or something, and it's she's talking to Thanos out in the shallow lake water thing.
Right, in the whatchamacallit dimension, whatever it is,
and he goes everything or whatever the hell he says. I don't remember.
Right.
Well, anyway, there's that. So that's coming. Watch. We'll watch for your review, Brian, on the other side.
And it's funny, we watched Transformers this weekend for FilmSec, and when I pulled up IMDb to pull up Borderlands to remind myself who's in it, one of the first things it's promoting is a brand new Megan Fox movie called Subservience, where she plays an AI android.
Oh, goodness.
And I had not heard anything about this, but apparently there you go. It's
wow.
We were just talking about how we haven't really heard anything much from Megan Fox acting wise. It's all been tabloid gossip of who she's with, who she's breaking up with, and that sort of thing.
Who she's slobbering with on a stage.
On a stage.
Her and was it Machine Gun Kelly?
Kelly, yeah.
Well, that's what grossed Scott out the most.
So yeah, Subservience, which is a thriller that comes out in a who knows when.
Well, watch for it. Put it on your calendars, everybody. Watch for that.
Yep. Nice for that one.
We got a little note here from Jesse, the trash guy. Jesse, what's his
Jerky Jesse?
Jerky Jesse, yeah. He makes amazing jerky, and we haven't had some of the wild jerk, Jesse. So don't be a jerk, Jesse. Make some jerky.
Yeah, it's because the price of meat that he used went way up. So
I wonder if that's petered out or leveled out, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
So he'd have to charge us a lot more for the jerky that he was sending us.
Well, he wrote in about this issue about White Castle. Because the guy has made legitimately good jerky, I'll take his food advice. Here's what he says.
Hey, sausage and bacon. Jerky Jesse here. Want to let you know, White Castle is disgusting, and I wouldn't feed that shit to my dog. Love the show, though.
All right. No White Castle, guys.
No White Castle for him. Yeah.
Nope. Sounds like it's as bad as, well, we know it's bad. We've eaten it. It's not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know what it's for. It's for you're drinking all night and you need to soak it all up. Exactly. So that's a great way to just eat 50 tiny burgers.
It's what can I do to get rid of all the alcohol in my system very, very quickly? I know I'll have some White Castle. It'll come out very, very quickly.
I had a friend in high school who claimed that the only thing that would work for him to stave off like a bad hangover or something is he would eat a whole loaf of or most of the loaf of white Wonder Bread.
Oh God!
Which sounds so awful. That sounds so awful.
It does sound awesome. I mean, he's really thinking literally this stuff is just going to absorb all the alcohol. So instead of it being in his bloodstream, it's going to be in his stomach, absorbed into what he's visualizing as 3/4 of a loaf of Wonder Bread in his stomach.
His name was Cheney. We called him Chain Gang. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I wonder how he's doing. I wonder if the a loaf of bread every couple of weekends did things to his physiology. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wonder Bread isn't bread, it's cake.
kind of right. Yeah, it's a bland cake.
It is cake.
It's cake sponge. I've known so many people that have a hangover cure, quote unquote hangover cure, and every single person has a different one. There's no one that's, the logic of, well, alternate water and drinking. Like if you have a drink, have a big glass of water in between each drink, and that'll help, because it's the shrinking of the hangover is caused by the shrinking of your blood vessels in your brain or your head that are constricting the flow of.
So you don't have one that you recommend, like something that works for you?
No, just drinking a lot of water, just alternating water and booze. But and just the ice cubes in your drink don't count, people.
Yeah.
But a woman I knew, Kim Ashley, she claimed it was drinking an ice cold Coke, but only out of a glass. Like you can't go to a fast food place and get a paper cup. It's got to be out of a glass. So you need to go to some place where they serve you an ice cold fountain Coca-Cola.
That sounds like malarkey to me.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what you would think was happening there. Like,
I don't know.
Maybe
there's psychosomatic, like maybe there's some bit where she's thinking where because she had a glass of ice cold Coke at one point and it seemed to get rid of her hangover, that she locked in the two. I don't know.
Was her last name Placebo by chance? No.
Believe it or not, it wasn't, but might as well have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could get that changed at the courthouse.
Yeah, that coconut water too is supposed to help. Like just basically hydrating is what's going to help you.
Yeah, what can get you hydrated quicker, I guess, is the answer.
Yeah.
So you probably do like an electrolyte filled sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, if I ever get drunk, I'll keep all that in mind.
Sure.
We got another Jesse wrote in, or at least I think it's Jesse. It's a little muffled, so it might be Freddie or some other name, but I think it's another Jesse wrote in, and it's funny because it's about name confusion, and I'm a little confused about his name. But anyway, it's a follow-up about name confusion that we had on the show. Here's another Jesse.
Hey, Scott and Brian. Jesse from Charlotte, North Carolina.
You heard Jesse, right? You heard Jesse?
I heard Jesse. Yeah. Jesse from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Scott and Brian. Jesse from Charlotte, North Carolina. Chiming in on the whole Rue McClanahan thing from yesterday. A good friend of mine was well into her 30s before she realized that Loofa Rigno's first name wasn't Loofa. Love the show, though.
Loofa Rigno.
Loofa Rigno.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Love the That's amazing. Yeah. So if any of you did the Ruma Clanahan, like I did, then maybe you did a Loofa Rigno.
Loofa Rigno. I feel like A, that's probably going to become a show title.
Yeah.
And B, that show title might become our drawing prompt for the day.
Oh yeah, we have a new. I want to give credit too. See if I can find that guy's name real fast. It's super buried now in the chat in Discord. Yeah, I'm never going to find it. If somebody can remind me of his name, that'd be great. But somebody in the chat had suggested, "Hey, why don't you make your daily drawing prompt that day's title?"
The title of that episode.
It's
that
freaking
TMS
perfect.
episode.
It's perfect. It's like the most genius idea. I don't know why we didn't think of it. So whoever that was, huge credit to you, and someone will find it and tell me. But yeah, that might be today's. And also, for all the kids at home, Loofa Rigno was a bodybuilder who was also deaf, who played the Incredible Hulk in the 70s. All right.
Yep.
Just in case you don't know
Bill
that.
Bixby. Back when the Hulk was David Banner, because they thought the name Bruce Banner sounded too gay.
Yeah. Someone in the chat says he wasn't very nice at a convention.
Wow.
And I always wonder, okay, forgive me here, but if you're at a convention and you see Lou Ferrigno and you go, "Hey Lou, I love your work," and he doesn't acknowledge you, it might be that he doesn't hear you. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't, you're not
This
in his
might
direct
be,
vision.
exactly.
I'm not saying, I don't know one way or the other if he's a nice guy or not. I have no idea, but.
No, Stephanie, we need to hear the story, I think, to know exactly. Oh, wow. Shoujo even confirms it's true. He's not a friendly dude at conventions. Wow.
Why even go to conventions if you're not going to be friendly, though? What's the point of that? Like, don't even go.
Exactly. Invite the Jaws guy, and he can cart you around on his little scooter like Scott and I saw when he was at the Star Trek convention.
Yeah, exactly. Except he died, but
He's
we'd love to have him.
but
Yeah, we'd love to have him again. That guy was great.
That cart will still move.
I remember do you remember though, we were at that Star Trek convention and he's at his little table and nobody's at his table.
Nobody.
I felt so bad.
Freaking Jaws from Moonraker, and
There's got to be some crossover. There's got to be some Trek
lovely.
fans. I mean, the dude from Battlestar was getting all kinds of people.
yeah.
The guy from the Soup Nazi had more people.
Right.
I felt bad for him. That sucked. All right. Maybe he needed to put the silver teeth back in. That would have helped. I guess.
Maybe that was it. Exactly.
All right, you guys. One final note. This is just a tease because it's not up on the store yet. But I have a new thing, or I'll give you a copy so you can see it too. But
Ooh, let me. I love these. I want one of these things. I haven't even seen it. Oh, look at that.
yeah. So by popular demand, the Blue Prophecy Blue Shell. You may remember I did one of these years ago.
Yeah.
It used to be just in like kind of simply form of, in fact, here's the old one, chat. You can see kind of what it used to look like. But it's still got that the last shall be first and the first last little scriptural reference on there. The new one is just a whole new drawn one. I drew it from scratch and created, here's a bigger version of it, created a new play mat. So this is 24 inches by 14 inches, great big, thick mat that you can put under your keyboard and mouse or use at your next tabletop experience or play cards on or whatever.
Your Magic the Gathering game. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So if you are a fan of Mario Kart and you hate the blue shell as much as me,
for Pete's sake, you should be playing Dungeon Murder on this thing.
Absolutely, Dungeon Murder or any other game that somebody in our community made. And it's big, large format. They're going to be nice and affordable and going up on the store shortly. We're just waiting for my daughter to get in the proof to make sure we're good to hit go.
Cool.
But anyway, it's going to be awesome. Watch for that coming soon to a browser near you. All right.
Very, very cool, Scott.
Keep your eyes on frogpants.shop. All right, we're going to get Dunaway all up inside of it. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We like to do that. Hold on. Here we go. Create group. All right, Discord, do your thing. All right, he's incoming. That means it's time for us to be ongoing. Ladies and gentlemen, help us welcome to the program one Brian Dunaway. Hello, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Happy
Hello.
Monday.
Yep.
You too. Before we get right into it, Scott, you talked about this artwork for the blue shell. I forgot. I don't have it down here because we're waiting for a frame for it. But you should show off the artwork for the thing you got me for my birthday that you made me.
Oh, right. I did.
Really cool stitch. Did you show it off?
I have not shown it to anyone yet. I wanted you to get it first, obviously, because I figured that would be best. But let's see if I can find.
Show that damn thing off because it is gorgeous. And
here you go. Look at that, folks. It's here, Brian Dunaway. You can see it too if you want. Hold on. One moment, please.
Yes,
Just a moment.
Presents every year always require use of a frame. Always require me to go out and purchase a frame.
Yep.
Like he's the only person who gives me something that makes me have to go out and buy something.
Oh, I love that.
One of these years I'll just ship it in a frame, but for now he gets a rolled up tube, and it's
far better. It's just easier. And did you by the way, when you sent it in the tube, you just basically put in the tube, sealed the ends, and gave it to the mail box or mail,
gave it to the mailbox. Here you go, Mr. Mailbox.
Well, we did. Okay, so I signed it, rolled it up, put it in the tube,
smoked it,
wrapped it. What else did I do? Oh, and then I actually printed the label and wrapped it around it, I think.
Yeah. Okay, but you didn't
the shipping label.
When it arrived,
yeah.
This is something I've never seen the post office do, but it arrived with a it is. It's like a giant 3D printed stitch that I'm looking at and saying, "Oh man, part of the year didn't print." But no, it arrived with a rubber band and tongue depressor. So the tongue depressor, almost like it, basically to keep it from rolling around. So they took the tube, rubber band, and then put the tongue depressor through it so it would stay flat.
I never did that. No, that's super interesting.
It is interesting. It is like, wow, I can't imagine something like that would have made it through the mail anyway, so it must have been something that they added, but that's really, really
That's
cool.
weird. So I guess it keeps it steady so they don't have to worry about keeping it
rolling around the truck or whatever.
Or if they have to scan it, they don't want it to roll and move. I don't know. I'm super
I can't
curious.
help but to think of like Seinfeld. Like I could see one of those tubes going underneath the brakes or something, and the truck is on fire. What was that episode of Seinfeld where the mail truck got all on fire and stuff?
That's right, because it was because of Kramer's New Stripes on the stretch of road that he adopted. He made the lanes wider, and
that's amazing. Well, it was super fun to make, and
it is so cool. Love it.
Happy
totally
to do it.
Love it.
It's so funny. I did it like 2 months ahead because I
know you were so excited about it, which is great. I mean, it's so.
I was like, oh man, I'm in the mood. Let's do this, and then I'm like, and now I have to hold it for forever.
And you resisted the urge to like keep working on it. Like I would, if I knew there was something that was like, oh, I'm giving this to Scott in 2 months. I printed this Chani, and I'm going to go back and do some more printing on this. Oh, I screwed up the face more. All right, well, I'm going to cover up the face and start over. Oh, dang it! Now this is all screwed
That's funny
up.
you say that because I did go back in a couple of times to just see if I wanted to change anything, and I'd be like, nah, I like this. I'm cool, and then I would close it down, go back later. I do that a lot though. I'll go back in and check, but I often don't tweak it. It's usually like, no, I'm happy with where I ended it. So don't
Terminator 2 special edition that business.
That's right.
Leave it as is.
Yeah, I don't need extended Cameron freaking director's cuts that make the movies worse. Exactly. Hey, Brian Dunaway, it's good to have you here, man. I hope you're well and ready for a little game. Brian, will you present us said game and tell us how this works?
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass. This is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you two the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and 3, like White Castle burgers, are so very wrong. Aww. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points total. If you get whoever has the most points after 3 rounds wins the game for their contestant. And here are the contestants that the 2 of you will be playing for. Scott, you're going to be playing for Tristan in Brisbane, Australia.
Nice, Tristan. Tristan not your son, just
good
different
name.
Tristan.
Good name.
Yeah.
It has a very different Tristan, of course. Brian, you're going to be playing for Brad here in Arvada, Colorado.
Ooh,
Brad. Look at the big brains on Brad.
I think if I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that Brad I picked up once in my lift, and he's like, "Oh, I was wondering when we were going to get the Brian Ibbett lift."
No way, that's awesome.
Took him up to get drinks up at this dining hall up the way. Who was having a beer fest, and super cool guy. If it's who I'm thinking of, because this Brad I've not seen at any of our Tadpool events or anything. So
no, you know all the Brads.
Yeah. You might know. I'm sure there are a few more Brads.
There are definitely more Brads. There are definitely more Brads in Arvada, but I don't know about that many Brads in Arvada who listen to TMS.
That reminds me, I could tell you something real quick. I went to the doctor the other day, just a follow-up appointment, my 6th month, and so nothing weird. And I go in there, and they got a new receptionist, and she's kind of a hoot. She's an older lady. She's cracking me up the whole time. Everything she said was funny. And she goes, Scott Johnson, That's a common name. And I went, I know, but she has that kind of personality that was like, it's affable. It's not offensive at all. Yeah. And I said, yeah, pretty common. There's a lot of us. And she goes, yeah, but you're probably all right. And I said, actually, just for fun, Google my name. Let's see who comes up first. And she's like, oh, I'll bet it's terrible. There's probably a billion of these. And I said, just do it. She looked it up. I came up first, and my photo from a Nerdtacular up there. Right. She goes, why are you first? And she was blown away by that. She could not believe it.
All the Scott Johnsons. Yeah, there you go. Nicely done.
She couldn't believe that her results were that. And I'm like, it was like this moment of like, I don't care about this. It's not important to me. But it's fun to put this lady, this sarcastic lady, in her place.
Exactly, like of all of the common name versions. Then, by the way, did you say you're a real hoot?
Yeah, I should have, dude. I should have said, hey, listen, you're a real hoot. Pull my name up. It was great. Anyway, sorry, not to delay the game. I didn't mean to do that. Let's play.
That's all right. We'll talk about the prizes after the game, but let's go ahead and get things started. I've got 3 categories here for you. Remember, 6 answers, but only 3 of them are correct. Starting with this one right here. Now, every year, Frito-Lay does this thing called Do Us a Flavor, right? Where they have people submit flavor ideas, and then they actually release, I think, 3 or 4 of those flavors and let people try them and then vote on them.
All the ones I get are feet flavored.
Well, look for that one in this list. Which of these are actual contest finalists in the Frito-Lay Do Us a Flavor contest? Your choices are cappuccino, Greek Town Gyro, wasabi ginger, rosemary yam, bacon triple stack, and peppered Earl Grey. 3 of those are real flavors. 3 of those are not.
Oh my gosh, dude. Cappuccino. What the
Cappuccino.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with
I don't know if anybody ever sent us any of these flavors, but yeah, these are ones they've done. 3 of these are real.
3 of these flavors are really gross, and 3 of them are fake, but still really gross.
I'm doing 2. I'm doing 2 because the first answer never has to be all in,
Brian did 2 as well. You guys both did 2, and oddly enough, you guys both did the same 2. You did wasabi ginger and bacon triple stack. So you're either both getting points.
We're going to win or lose.
Or you're neither of you are getting points. And I'm happy to say wasabi ginger not only was a finalist, but actually won that year in the 2017 Do Us a Flavor contest. However, bacon triple stack, as good as that sounds, like pancakes and bacon, never was a finalist in the Frito-Lay's Do Us a Flavor.
It.
Yeah. Cappuccino, Greek Town Gyro, and wasabi ginger.
Greek Town Gyro.
Greek Town Gyro. I love that song. He had except we used to sing it. How'd it go? How's this start out? He was.
He had one guitar.
Oh yeah, we'd say he can't with his pants hung low. We'd say. I don't know why we said that. It's a high school
probably
thing.
Did. Yeah. Probably did. All right. Well, that's all right. Let's move on to question number 2, and we're going to look at these great states of ours, 50 of them to be specific, and which of them don't have any national parks. Your choices are Tennessee, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Ohio, New York, and Oregon. 3 of those don't have a single national park in their state.
Oh my gosh. These are hard.
I know. Who doesn't have a national park? Come on.
Well, at least 3 states.
I mean, one of these makes me want to click it, but it feels like a trick. I'm going with these 2. I don't know, dude. Freaking. Okay. Some of these I know do have them, but there's a couple here. This is a tricky one, I guess. It
is a very tricky one.
Yeah.
Scott, you went with Tennessee and Ohio. Brian, you just stuck to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Where the wind rolls, red.
Can I go to the bathroom? All right. Tennessee has the Great Smoky Mountains, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ohio has Cuyahoga Valley. Oregon has Crater Lake, which means your 3 that don't have any are Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and New York.
Damn it.
Brian getting 1 point on that one.
Damn it.
I'll take it.
Oklahoma, I feel bad. You guys should have stuff. That's a bummer.
I wasn't positive about New York, and I wasn't positive about Oregon.
No national
There
parks
was.
in New York. State parks probably, but no national.
Yeah,
I almost went with Wisconsin and New York but they seem so like obvious. This is
Yeah.
how you get us. You get it. Sometimes they are obvious. Yeah. Shit.
Sometimes they are obvious. Maybe this one will be obvious. Which of these are ghosts in the Harry Potter books? Which of these are introduced as ghosts in the Harry Potter books? Your choices are homophobic author. Nope, sorry, that's not one. The short doorman, the swollen surgeon, the fat friar, the gray lady, the ugly prince, and the bloody baron. 3 of those are actual
Going in,
ghosts.
I thought I was gonna nail this one, but you started listing these, and I'm like, I'm not even sure.
Right?
Okay. Turf Wizard, says Talia. That's good. That's appropriate.
Yeah,
all
pretty
right.
much, yeah.
She sucks so bad.
Jesus.
You know what I was
This
thinking today? Can I just tell you a thing
feels-
real fast? They're like Stephen King makes scary books. You know, they're there to scare us and freak us out. But in his real life, he gives to kids charities. The guy's super generous with his time and his talents, like all that kind of stuff. And very, good, tolerant human being. J.K. Rowling makes these books for kids, but then in real life, she's an ass. Like, why?
Exactly.
What's the deal there between those two chuckleheads? Like, why can't we all be more like? Let's all be more Stephen King and less just kidding, Rowling. Anyway, let's see.
The worst of the JKs.
Yeah.
And I would say, ooh, man, it'd be tough. J.K. Grammer and J.K. Simmons, the best of the JKs.
Oh, those are the best JKs for sure.
Those are the best JKs.
Yeah. Nice guys, and one's an excellent actor.
And that's no JK.
Yeah. We're not JKing with you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, you guys have locked in.
We
Hey,
have.
let's see. Let's get some points and see who won this damn thing. Now, the Gray Lady is a nickname for the New York Times, but it's also a ghost.
Oh, is it also a ghost in Harry Potter?
Also a ghost in Harry Potter.
Okay.
The Fat Friar,
Yeah.
also a ghost in Harry Potter.
Uh-huh.
The Bloody Baron is the other
Oh,
one.
shit!
Both of you picked. Yeah, Short Dorman is not, and the Ugly Prince is not. But
I thought the Bloody Baron was from The Witcher 3. What am I thinking of? Chat room,
yeah,
someone
Bloody
in
Baron
there?
is apparently from The Witcher 3. People were saying that in the chat that it's a quest line in The Witcher.
Oh, that's why I thought it wasn't it. I got tricked.
Also in Harry Potter, Bobby and Jeannie, I think both got it. Bloody Baron, Gray Lady, Fat Friar. Yeah. So good job to you guys in the chat, the few of you who knew this one. Unfortunately, that means Brian wins with one single solitary point. Unfortunately, Brian wins. I'm sorry. Fortunately, Brian wins.
You know what?
Fortunately,
These
we
would
have a
be
winner.
these would be great Harry Potter titles. It'd be Harry Potter and the Swollen Surgeon. So that's
I
pretty
like
good.
that, right? It'd be great. And the Short Dorman.
And the Short Dorman. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, you deserve that, dude. You were conservative in your play. It paid off for you. 1 point is 1 point. You beat me.
1 point. That's all it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes. Listen, 4 people in the history of Jeopardy have won with $1, and that's just a win is a win. Congratulations, Brian, and congratulations, Brad, here in Arvada, Colorado. I could just open my window and shout these codes to you, but I'm not. I'm going to mail them to you. You want a copy of Heimrich and 7,62 Hard Life on Steam. I know nothing about either of those games, but boy, oh boy, the names sound fun.
I don't either.
But don't worry, Tristan in Brisbane, you're getting a copy of Gift of Parthax.
It's crazy because I don't. Wait,
I don't know any of those.
764 Hardline. Yeah, none of these. I don't know what any of this is. This is unusual. This is an unusual day because usually me or Dunaway or both will know at least one of these games, but we don't know these things. I'm sure they're great though. Good job.
Sure. They're
There you go.
just fine.
Yeah, well done.
Congratulations.
To both of you, really. And Dunaway, congratulations to you for being a part of today's Good Times.
I feel like I'm a winner.
Yeah. Plus, you like Good Times, the comedy, the TV comedy.
Yes, the comedy. I like the
Lucky-
Good Times
we
comedy
lucky
from
we got
the
'em.
70s.
Yeah, it was a comedy, and
I also like the What's Happening, also from an older comedy.
yeah.
I feel
What
like
do you?
that show's Dynamite.
It
I
was
like,
Dynamite.
well, not What's Happening. I'm rerunning
No.
over there. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
Hey.
Isn't there a new
Hey,
cartoon?
hey.
A new cartoon that's about that family or something? Isn't that?
They're
a thing?
working on
There
it.
is,
They're,
yeah.
they're
Okay.
working on it.
All right.
It's not released yet, though, is it? I don't think so.
Think so. I'm curious about it. Did they get J.J. Walker or whatever his name is. What was his name?
Yeah, Jimmy Walker.
Yeah.
Jimmy Walker.
JJ Washington. You nailed it.
Is it? Wait, who is that? Oh, that's Welcome Back
No.
Kotter guy. Was Washington. JJ Washington?
Right.
Yeah, he was pretty jive. He was a jive turkey.
He was their. He had to provide their street. Street cred because Horseshack and Vinny Barbarino weren't bringing that.
No, I will say this: I'm not even like a big fan of John Travolta these days. He's fine. I just don't think of him anymore when I think of movie draws or whatever. But I saw a picture of him at the Olympics. He's 70.
Mm-hmm.
He looks amazing.
He does. He's got that bald head now. He's rocking the ibit.
I know he's coloring and all
he
that.
Accelerated to a point, and then he just kind of plateaued right there. Like he stayed put.
Yeah, he's in great shape. He colors his beard. He just looks better than I expected. So good luck to him.
Yeah. He's
all
still
right.
vertical. You can't complain.
Yeah, what else can you do? Well done, Dunaway. Anything else you want to say before you kick your ass out of here, or what do you think?
Oh, that's rude. I had a good time over the weekend. Played some more pinball, so that was always a good time. And I played some Miss Pac-Man with my youngest son Ethan, and I was all smack talking. And turns out he's better than me at Miss Pac-Man. A shame. A shame has fallen upon my head.
It is shameful what you've done there. You need to maybe.
But your children are supposed to beat you, right? That's something that's supposed to happen.
Is that you want to actually? Yeah, you want to celebrate when they beat you. They don't. You don't want to. I mean,
that's what good parents do.
Right. You're a good parent. I'll give you that. We'll see you later. Kiss our butts. All right. Well done, everybody. Time for a little bit of news time. Hey, Brian, it's time for the news brought to you by...
The Instance 2.0. Instance, what? I don't know what any of that means. Scott, help me out.
Well, that's interesting you ask. The Instance 2.0, what does that even mean? Well, if you've been around the network for a long time, you know about the Instance. It was a thing I started in 2006, and then in 16 years, I ended it. And then we've had like a 2-year break. And I've decided, in my infinite wisdom and also my fanboyism, that it's time to bring a form of it back. So there's a lot of changes to it. I put up a whole video explaining the whole thing on YouTube, but if you've missed it somehow, go seek that out at frogpants.tv. But if you'd really like to get subbed up and ready to go over to frogpants.com/instance. And the Instance 2.0 will be a monthly show. It will start right around the launch of this new expansion later this month, and it will feature myself and my new co-host on the show, Bobby Frankenberger. Yay. What? The guy's a freak. He still plays WoW constantly. That dude is always doing mythics, and he's a monster. And I'm very excited to have him on board.
He knows his shit.
He does. The science of WoW is his specialty. Anyway,
podcasting Jesus, I believe, is what he's known as.
That's right.
Certain circles.
Never forget. And so that'll be tonight. Sorry, not tonight. That'll be later this month. And we'll let you know the date soon, because that's something we'll have solidified here shortly. But anyway, I'm excited about it. If you miss it and want to get your WoW on. Oh, also we're accepting new people into the core guild, and that is growing like crazy because now the game is cross-faction and cross-server. So no matter where you are, you can be in the guild with us.
You don't have to be on Earthen Ring to be on like we did for AIE. That's awesome.
You don't even have to be Horde. You can be...
You don't have to be Horde anymore.
That's right. The boy needs therapy. I mixed those two songs up. Let's get with this one story here we got some Olympics coverage coming your way here.
Yeah.
French pole. I feel so bad for this guy because it's his whole legacy in one image.
Oh no.
Have you not seen this? Gosh dang it.
I watched the female pole vaulting. Oh man, I'm loving Gold Zone on the Peacock app. Like it shows you between 2 and 6 different games going on all at once, but then it zooms in on one where something exciting is happening when they're close to the finish. And so we watch, basically it's like, oh, well, you get a taste of handball while you're watching the tennis match, or a little bit of this soccer game while you're watching this other thing.
Right.
And the women's pole vaulting was amazing. This it was Ukraine and Australia in a man, such a close finish, and watching them kind of go over the back. Yeah. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. It's there. I mean, they've done, I think Peacock is killing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're using it not just as, hey, here's where you can watch it. They're like you said, here's Here, if you're just here for some quick highlights, we have that. You want to see what's happening live, we have that. You want to see the entire match that you missed because it was in the middle of the night, we have that.
And you can choose even between TV, the TV version where you get the announcers, or if you don't care about that, that's fine too. Yeah,
whatever you want. I'm trying to find a video that isn't some commentator.
Well, if you go to the link of the YouTube or the X, I know you got to go to X.
That's fine. It opens up. Yeah. So this is the first time you've seen this guy do this deal.
This is the first time I've seen this. Oh man.
Where is it here?
Oh, this poor guy.
Oh, I don't see.
Oh,
it's been removed on my side. Hold on.
Oh, really? Okay, let me
it
copy.
says mine says it got removed. I don't know why. I've seen it 1,000 times. I don't know why it got removed.
Sure you have here. Probably because you've watched it too much. And Elon says,
that's enough
says you're done.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Bye, Tesla.
Here you go. Try that link that I just gave you and see.
All right, let's see here. Oh, this will probably work because I see the preview. All right, here we go. All right, here you go, chat room.
Sound effects. I mean, this is so great.
Yeah, look at him going, and then, and that lost him a medal.
Yeah,
it's a real bummer.
Gave him a lot of dates.
Oh yeah, he's in demand now.
He's set. Olympic Village. There's a line now for his cardboard bed.
Oh, this poor guy. I just feel bad because it's like. It's one thing if you have a wipeout in your event or whatever, but man, you snagged on your unit.
He kind of already was unit. This Anthony Armati's got a big unit.
By the way, Anthony. How do you spell that? How do you say that last name?
Emirati.
Emirati. Okay. Yeah. Poor guy, but also. Maybe strap that down next time, man. Get some.
Tuck. Come on.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't know how well you can run and pole vault with it tucked, though. There's the problem.
Yeah. The Olympics, the gift that just keeps giving. We got this story. McDonald's employee has been sentenced to prison. Jeez. Oof. For setting a dumpster fire. Not a figurative one.
A literal dumpster fire.
Yeah, not like on the regular we have figuratives all the time, but this one's an actual dumpster fire.
Actual dumpster fire.
And he did it because he said the restaurant was too crowded. So this is kind of crazy. We swing over to Georgia. At a McDonald's employee working at a store in Savannah, Georgia, was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to lighting a fire in a dumpster to clear out customers because the restaurant was overcrowded. Joshua Darrell McGregor. Sounds like a serial killer. Jeez.
It sounds like a member of Run DMC.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does. My name is Daryl, and I'm here to say McDaniels, right?
McDaniels, that's it, yeah. Joshua Darrell McDaniels would be a member of Run DMC.
That's right. Anyways, 34, working at a restaurant. When he became frustrated, the store was too busy, according to the Attorney General's office. Quote, intentionally setting a fire in an effort to shut down and damage someone else's property is inexcusable, says Attorney Steinberg. I'm Attorney Steinberg.
Yeah.
Joshua McGregor will have substantial time to ponder his next prison employment options. He lit a piece of cardboard on fire, threw it in the dumpster outside the restaurant that was already full of cardboard and other flammable materials. He ensured the fire ignited before going back inside the restaurant, according to press release. Okay, I'm going to put myself in his head for just a second. If I was overworked and just destroyed by how busy we were. How slammed we were is the word we would use back at Chi-Chi's. I assume everyone used slammed.
Sure. Slammed, yes.
This seems like in my head, I would maybe in my duress, I might think this is a low stakes way of causing an interruption without too much damage, because it's a closed thing. They're going to have to
clear the restaurant. The fire department's going to come. But during that whole thing, I get to just sit back and collect a paycheck.
Yeah.
And then not have to sling Big Macs.
Yeah. So I would have probably felt like he did. I can't say how he felt, but I would have felt like this wasn't a big deal. Mm-hmm. Although he's 30, he should know better. If I was like 16, maybe I would go, well, it's just a dumpster. You just light it. It's already self-contained.
Big metal bin. It's gonna It's what are we gonna do? Lose some trash? Oh no.
Yeah.
Probably won't spread. Probably
not. But I hate this, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has
definitely
to go
not,
to
definitely
jail.
not defending this guy, but we're trying to like say what would make somebody think to do this. And
Yeah,
that's
I don't
about
think
all we
it's.
can
I don't
come
think it's purely like in this case. I don't think this is just pure maliciousness. This is somebody who's feeling like he's at the end of his rope and doesn't know what else to do. I mean, I don't know. Again, he's going to jail because that's what you do when you break the law. But he's probably regretting this.
Did he come back in and like pull the fire alarm? Like,
oh, good question. Doesn't say in the article.
Because that seems like the part 2 to this. Because if you just go out and set a dumpster fire behind the McDonald's, it's gonna be a while before somebody discovers it and says, "Oh, hey, you guys got a fire outside."
When I worked at a computer company, we had a guy in our shipping department who eventually got caught on camera, but we suspected he was stealing stuff and we weren't sure how he was doing it. So entire laptops would go missing, computer components, RAM, hard drives, that kind of stuff, with just little bits would be missing from inventory. And most of the time something goes missing. It's not that unusual. You're just like, we overcounted or undercounted, or, somebody shipped the wrong thing with the guy's order or whatever. And you just kind of mark it up as a loss. But there were some patterns emerging. So they put cameras in and we found out what he was doing. This guy was taking like whole computers and components at the end of the night when nobody else was around in the back. Mm-hmm. And he would take it outside and hide these things in a dumpster. So he would tuck them way down underneath boxes and stuff in the dumpster. Shut the dumpster, finish up, everyone lock up, go home. And then he would come back at about midnight with his buddies and they would clear out whatever they put in the dumpster, take it, and then go fence that stuff. That was crazy, we thought. Yeah. That felt like I was at a crime syndicate when that was going on. And everybody was mad because we didn't actually know that he put cameras up, but that the owner put cameras up to find this guy. And so nobody else knew there were cameras like all over the place. And everybody was pissed. We're like, we don't mind that you're doing surveillance. You just need to tell us that you are so that we don't, come out of the bathroom picking our nose or some shit.
Right, yeah. The worst thing you could think of is coming out of getting caught coming out of the bathroom picking your nose.
That was the worst I was doing then.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't steal things and put them in the dumpster, all right? He went to jail for that, I think, because he was 18, so he got adult treatment, and I think he spent, can't remember. It wasn't a long amount of time. It's a small crime. I mean, it's larceny or whatever.
Yeah, petty
theft. I don't know. I think it has to hit a certain amount, and he may have been over whatever the limit was. It was like thousands and $5,000-$6,000 worth of equipment. I don't know.
Damn.
Let's take a break. When we come back from this break, Bobby Frankenberger, the aforementioned, will be here to talk about his time as Jesus and now as a science expert.
The science of wow. Can't wait to hear how that all comes together magically between the two.
It's going to be great. He'll be after this break. This break is a song, and Brian will play this song. Brian, play this song.
I will play this song. Back to San Diego for this one. An alt-rock band named Los Saints. They have a brand new debut full-length album. It's called Certified. It's really, really good. And this is the lead single off of it. The song is called Hard. Here is the band Los Saints and Hard.
All right, here it is. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Drive. 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 Drive, 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 drive.
Well, I put those on her. Ladybird is in heat, and we are out of doggy diapers.
All right, we're back from the break. Brian, who is that one more time?
Yeah, that's a band called Los Saints. They have a brand new album. It's called Certified. It's their debut, and that's the lead single from it. It's called Hard.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, I just about added somebody not Bobby into the call. Hold on.
Hello, somebody not Bobby.
There we go. That would have been embarrassing. All right, let's get this going. We're gonna get scientific all up in it, and here's this part of the deal.
Science!
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
It sure does. Bobby Frankenberger joins us. Oh, his camera is so washed out at first that it looks like he's naked from the neck down. But but he's not.
It always comes in super washed out. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Now you're looking good.
Yeah, oh, that nice. Yes, excellent.
That's a weird
Everybody
thing.
loves Logitech G Hub.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, G Hub's amazing. What a piece of software G Hub is.
Gub.
It's so bad.
They're constantly updating, but never with the one update you would expect to have, like saving your settings.
Yeah, or being good at what it's doing. It's funny because that company, Logitech, right? They make quality products. They make really great mice, and they make good cameras. They make all kinds of really great peripherals. They're one of my favorites of all time. They've always been there for me. Their stuff lasts forever. And then their software is a shit-gibbon fart monkey.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't understand why. How come they know they have money? They can do this.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Anyway, it's good to have you here, Bobby. We're going to get right into it. You sent me a little preview of the science for today, and I got all excited about it. But I'll let you introduce it. What are we discussing today?
Well, so we're going to talk about blushing. Have you ever thought about why you blush?
I don't even know how often
Blood
I do
rushing
blush.
to your face.
Yeah, that sounds
well,
right.
yeah. So we know.
But I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's pretty clear. Like that's what blushing is.
That's what blushing is. I don't know why blushing is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a good question. You don't really have control over it, right? It just
and
happens.
it's not like a protection or a camouflage thing. It's not going to help you blend in if you're embarrassed. Like, oh no, I'm going to turn red, so I'm less noticeable.
Yeah.
Exactly. It almost highlights that you are embarrassed.
Right. Yeah.
Or that something is going on, right? So and a lot of things that you don't have control over. One of the first things that you think of is that it hints that there might be some sort of like evolutionary advantage, and that's why it's done. But our cheeks flush when we're blushing, and why should that happen? Why should we blush at all? And it's also temperature increase. Some people technically don't have red cheeks when they blush, but it's still blushing if you have increased blood flow and temperature increased in your cheeks. But it's most common for that to be accompanied by color, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, there was a paper that was published by some scientists in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B, and the title is "The Blushing Brain: Neural Substrates of Cheek Temperature Increased in Response to Self-Observation."
Okay.
So basically, they were just looking at why do we blush, and in particular, trying to answer this question by looking at the brain and what's going on in the brain when blushing occurs.
Right.
And
it's not always when I just see a pretty girl at the mall, right?
No, not always. There's other reasons. Name some reasons why you blush while I go grab my coffee.
Yeah, grab your coffee.
Here, occupy yourself. Here's a toy.
Yeah, here's a toy. Do what you got to do. Think of one, Brian. Brian, what's the number one reason Brian might blush? I want to hear this.
That I will say the wrong thing or make a pun or a joke that falls flat, and I'm embarrassed by that.
That can be blush worthy. Sure.
Something comes out in a way not intended. It's like, oh no, I didn't mean that. And it's too late.
Yeah,
Blushing.
for me, it's like it's almost always a physical thing. Like if I'm, I know one. When I was 8 or 9, and I was playing baseball, and I forgot to wear I've told this story before, but I forgot to wear my underwear to the game. Not a big deal. You're a kid. Who cares, right? But after the game, they said, all right, this is our second to last game. We need to get our team pitchers done. Everybody gather around. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we all gathered around. And because I was one of the taller kids, this didn't make sense, though. Because if I'm a taller kid, you should put me in the back, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember this because all of it is so burned into my brain. But they said, Scott, we want you down here because you're taller. So we want you on one knee and then one leg up. And so now these photos went out, kind of like Elaine's nipple on the Seinfeld, went out to dozens of parents who all got to see Scott's boys.
Sneaky nut punch.
Nut punch, yeah. It sucked. Yeah. And I guarantee you when that happened that probably the most blushing of my life occurred then. All the blood came to my face. Yeah.
Which do you think would be more embarrassing, that or boinging it on a bar that you're trying to jump over?
In a pole vaulting?
Oh gosh, I'm sure that guy probably more red in the face for just being annoyed that this is all anyone talks about now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And probably kicking himself that I might have won if it weren't for that damn Weiner.
Damn Weiner.
Well,
those pesky kids.
Yeah.
Well, so the funny thing is that sort of in a way hints at why the scientists think that as a result of all this research, kind of sort of points in the direction of what they think might be getting closer to what it is that causes why we blush, and they think it's probably the result of whenever emotions are aroused, right? Like, so you get a lot of emotional response to something, which makes sense, but they think also that it might not be the result of thinking about what other people are thinking about you, right? Like, and that's one of the two hypotheses that have been prevalent, is that blushing occurs because of the fact that we are somehow socio-cognitively aware that other people are observing us, right?
Yeah.
But it's been a debate. There are kind of like two schools of thought on why blushing happens. There's that one.
Because the thinking is that you would never blush on your own, right? Like, there's always got to be somebody involved.
That was the thinking,
right? But
some research has happened over the years that has suggested that, well, blushing can happen when you're by yourself. But one of the criticisms that kind of research gets is by virtue of the fact that you are studying someone who you thinks that they're by themselves, don't they know that they're being observed? So there's a lot of like, how do we nail this down? It's really, really difficult. But what hasn't been done very much is looking at what's going on in the brain when blushing occurs, and that's what this study did. So the reason the headline caught my eye, so the headline writer on this one gets an A+ because that's their job, is to get people's attention, right?
Yeah,
but the reason the reason that it caught my eye is because the thing that they used to the tool that they used, or the situation that they used to try to induce blushing, is getting people to perform karaoke and then watch themselves afterwards doing the karaoke. So I thought, karaoke, we like karaoke. This is a fun one.
Pretty sure this would make me blush because I do not like karaoke. I'm not good at it.
You blushed when you did your B-52s.
I probably did, but I sat and faced the screen away from everybody. I probably was, but you guys would have to tell me because I never looked at my own face during that.
Well, let me ask you a question. You've seen the video of you singing that, right?
I have.
And so do you think, did you blush watching the video?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes?
I watch myself when I watch myself I can watch myself do lots of things, but that is real hard for me.
Well, that's so interesting to me because here's what the experiment was. 40 participants. They were all adolescent girls between the age of 16 to 20. They said that the reason that they picked that is because adolescents and females tend to be more self-aware and more sensitive to being judged by other people, at least culturally.
Sure.
So they wanted to be able to, I guess they were trying to set themselves up to get a more intense response since they were looking for it.
Yeah.
And because they only had 40 participants. So what they did was they had the participants sing karaoke, and they video recorded them, and then they had them watch video clips of themselves performing, which is why I asked the question that I asked you, Scott.
Yeah.
And they had them watch those videos of themselves while they were sitting in an fMRI. This was a couple days later, so like there was a couple days that passed before they watched the video. Like they came back, got in the fMRI, and watched these videos. The songs that they chosen were chosen to be deliberately difficult. They chose "Hello" by Adele. I thought it would be fun to list these songs.
Yeah.
But these were intended to be difficult songs, right? "Hello" by Adele, "Let It Go" from Frozen. "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey, and "All the Things You Said" by Tattoo, I think is how you say
Tattoo,
it.
Yeah,
Tattoo, yeah.
Russian, are they a couple? Are they not a couple?
Right.
Lesbians,
The music
produced by
video is
Trevor
them
Horn.
just making out the whole time, right? Like,
It pretty much is, yeah.
In the rain. So.
The Adele one in particular, I can see why that was chosen because it's a very drawn out, weirdly timed.
Yeah. It's from the other side.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good one.
It's got a big power high chord in it that is enough to shake anybody down to their timbers.
That's a good pick.
A lot of high notes and weird changes of notes throughout the song. And
Wait,
stuff like that.
let me ask you a quick question about this part of the study. How did they? Yeah. It's an MRI, so it's got that going on the whole time. How do you even focus, or I don't know how people
set it
do
to
this.
The beat.
Yeah. They put headphones on them, I guess. Maybe they're Bose.
This happened yesterday. Sorry, quick side story. I'm outside. I'm listening to some song. I think it was 311. 311's last album in 2019. And this song's playing. And this car, some neighbor's car starts doing its accidental alarm. So it starts going, and it was exactly to the beat. And my wife was so annoyed because I'm like, listen to this, you gotta hear this, listen, it's going to the beat of the car, you gotta hurry up before they turn it off. And she's like, this is the dumbest thing you're distracting me with. Anyway,
great.
Sorry, Bobby, continue.
No, it's okay. So they had them watch themselves singing. They had some controls. When you're setting up an experiment, you got to always wonder, what are the controls? So they watched 15 segments of themselves singing and 15 segments of other participants singing. And the other participants, the controls, were broken up into two types of controls. The first one was participants who they were matched based on the participant's singing ability. So like they were watching someone else sing who was of a similar who performed similarly to them in terms of singing ability. The idea for that was to rule out secondhand embarrassment.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
All right.
You know, and that's a thing. Like you sometimes you get embarrassed for other people, right?
Right.
So they wanted to rule out that the reason they were seeing the blushing and everything wasn't just generally watching anybody perform poorly. And then the other one was they had some fake participants that were professional singers, and so they wanted to rule out that these people weren't just blushing by watching people sing, you know. And so they did that, and they measured their cheek temperature for blushing, and they did the fMRI for brain activity. The results that they found, some of them were what you would predict, but some of them were different. I just got a knock on the door. Hold on. What? Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah, don't. I see him blushing, or maybe it's his shirt. It's just his shirt.
It's my daughter. Anyway, so we were. Some of the results were predictable, what you would expect, and some of them were not. Hold on. I guess we're still needing something.
Sure.
No, it's all right. This is dad
You're
job.
texting me. Yeah. You know, you could have texted me without coming and
been
telling me.
You text me, or I'm coming here in person to tell you that I'm texting you. I love that. That's a kid thing to do. I love it. Kids rule. By the way, while I have this moment, Bobby's girls are adorable. He has the cutest kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, my kids are very cute. Thank you.
They're very cute. I don't know how much of that is your genes, though. I'm not going to give you full credit here.
How much of that is your?
I get at least half the credit.
Yeah, at least.
Or
half.
randomly, I could have none of the credit. That's how genes work, I suppose.
That's true. Yeah. We get a little extra science today. I like that. I like it. All right, sorry. Back to where you were.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, we have so some of the results were what you would predict, and some of them were not. So the results were people who watched themselves sing showed higher temperature increase in their cheeks than when they were watching other people sing. So you would expect that, right? More blushing when watching yourself sing than when we watch other people sing.
Yeah.
And they actually saw a slight decrease in temperature when they were watching the professional singers, which again, the participants didn't know that they were professionals. They just saw that they were performing really well, right? So they were able to say that because of that, that implies that there might be some self-related stimuli that, like, some awareness of themselves that might be contributing to the blushing. But they were able to rule out secondhand embarrassment. That's the whole point of them looking at that, right?
Right.
So then they looked at the brain, the fMRI stuff, and they found all sorts of different parts of the brain lighting up. I could name all the different sections of the brain, but the real point, the theme of the sections of the different brains they were very strong emotional processing centers of the brain that were lighting up during when they were watching themselves sing. Parts of the brains that are responsible for strong emotions like fear and anxiety. Other parts of the brains that are responsible for managing adverse stimuli and pain in emotional regulation ways. So like the parts of the brains there are certain parts of the brains responsible for what they think is responsible for willpower. So that might be activating because it takes a lot of the way they described it in the paper is you're faced with a situation that might make you afraid and want to flee, but you also at the same time want to keep doing it, right?
Right.
And we can all relate to situations like that, right? Mm-hmm. So those are parts of the brain that were lighting up. Also, just lots of fear and anxiety parts of the brain, and here's also in the cell. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, here's a theory. This is just based on just hopefully logic, but if you see yourself doing all these things, that is going to be everything firing, because you're not just going, oh, what a cheesy song, or what a cheesy presentation of the song. You're going, that's me doing a cheesy presentation of a song that's cheesy, and also, why am I moving my arms that way? And what did I think my hair was going to look like that day? Why did I do that? Was I drinking? Like, you've got all this. I can see why all your brain would go, all the lights would go up. But if this is me watching Brian sing, I will have some of those, but not all of them, right? I would have more, though, than if it was a stranger. If it was Brian, I would go, well, because I have this personal relationship, some of the other parts of my brain are going to fire off, because I'll be like, oh, I'm a little embarrassed for my friend, or whatever it is. But if it's a stranger, only a few of these things would pop, like the song is cheesy and they're a bad singer, and that's it, because I have no other connection to them. And so that's to me is the interesting part, is how differently you would view the exact same performance,
right,
based on those factors. Either it's you, or it's someone you know, or maybe if it's a famous person. Again, more lights than if it was just some dude in a shirt, just up there.
Right. Exactly. But so there's another part of the brain that is responsible for. The brain is fascinating. There are all sorts of weird circuits that do things that we don't even think about. But there is a part of the brain that is responsible for, and it's known to process and understand one's own mental state. Right? You can think about your own mental state. Right? Mm-hmm. And there's a part of the brain that's known to be highly involved in thoughts and understanding of your own mental state. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, they expected that to be a part of the brain that lit up during the fMRI study, and it was not. It was not seen to have activity during this blushing that was occurring during this. And what they think that suggests is that self-reflection about what others might think about you might not be necessary for blushing to occur, which is interesting, because that's one of those big hypotheses that exist that I mentioned, is that thinking about how others are going to perceive you was thought to be a big part of why blushing happens. This might suggest that it is not necessary for that to happen.
Wow, interesting.
And that it's really just strong emotion in what's known to be a social situation, because they do think social situation is involved somehow, but maybe not so much. Maybe it's they're suggesting, or they're hypothesizing that maybe what it is that being in a social situation, knowing you're in a social situation, makes you sort of heightened to certain emotions, and then more likely to have certain emotions trigger things like blushing, because you're aware of being in a social situation. Right?
I think it's good to know this, because it will help people be a little less hard on themselves, because these are natural. This is natural to feel this way, to be kind of hypersensitive of your appearance and others' impression of you or whatever. I think is a normal thing. I mean, obviously there can be extremes that are maybe unhealthy or whatever, but I don't know. It's good to understand that the embarrassment isn't actually what you think it is, that it's everyone else thinking a thing about you, right? Because when you're embarrassed like that and you get you're flushed and all that, you're thinking, well, obviously everyone thinks I'm an idiot now. But really, it's just you thinking you're an idiot. Right?
Right.
I don't know why that. I think that's helpful.
The spotlight effect, right?
Yeah, it's helpful for me. It's helpful for me to think that way because it makes me less, I don't know, not careless, but makes me less concerned about being open or, you know, saying things that would otherwise be embarrassing or something. It's like, nah, it's fine. It's just you know?
Yeah, I think that you're right. And that was one of my takeaways after reading this, was thinking, first of all, a lot of this blushing is happening at the speed that they saw it happening and it being processed in the brain was before conscious awareness. And they also surveyed a lot of the participants, and many of them responded saying that they did not feel embarrassed watching it, but they were still blushing. So that it makes me think exactly what you said, Scott, which is when we're blushing, like that's a totally normal human response that we probably just can't help. Like it's just something that happens when we're in these social situations. And also, even further, this is a part of, I think, a lot of selection bias that people don't think about. But all these people were volunteers, which also means they are the type of people that would be okay going to a lab and singing karaoke in front of strangers. Right. So they're already people who might not be as inclined to be embarrassed, but they're still blushing and still having these responses that we all think is like an embarrassing response, right? Mm-hmm. It's not. It's just how people react.
Yeah.
So
well, that's interesting. You know, if you're all out there thinking, well, now I feel empowered to karaoke next time I go out with my friends, and I don't
stave off the embarrassment.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily have to be monster drunk to do it. Then maybe Bobby just gave you all an excuse to go have some fun. All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Bobby, always good stuff. Tell people where your cool science podcast is so they can get it.
Well, you can find my science podcast anywhere you find podcasts. It's called All Around Science, and it's all about science. It's in the name.
It really is in the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
All around.
Don't confuse yourself. It's not all. It's all around science.
Yeah.
But it's all around science, not all around science.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going around a science.
No.
Right.
It's just science is all around us.
That's right.
Okay?
And if that made you blush, then maybe get an MRI as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Also, are you excited about the Instance 2.0? Are you ready? Are you feeling it?
So I suppose that's the other place you'll be able to find me soon, right?
Yeah.
You have no idea how excited I am. And I think you should know because I've been telling you for the past week how excited I am.
I can tell you from experience through my Discord conversations with Bobby, he seems extremely excited. And I think that he's going to be the perfect fit for it, and a nice fresh take as well. So I'm very excited. It's the kind of thing that I don't know. 2 years ago, if you just said, "Hey, you think you'll ever come back?" I think I may have answered that. Well, you never say never, but who knows? I don't know. It had to be the right situation, the right whatever. And right now, it just feels like the right time. And Bobby felt like the right person to come in and tell me why I'm so bad at mythics. And everything else around the game.
No, I'll tell you why you should come and do mythics with me, maybe because it's not as scary as you think.
Yeah, and I've gotten a bunch of emails saying we should use that heavenly music every time you.
Yeah, go watch that video.
Anytime you're introduced, like your walk-on music.
Yeah.
So that night that announcement went live, that you published it, I was on my way to go to, because I texted you a picture of me. Me and Stephanie went out to brew at the zoo. It was a brew event, but we were dropping our kids off at her sister's house.
Yeah.
And so I was being social, and I said to everybody there, I was like, "Look, Scott just sent me a video. I have to watch it right now. I'm going to be rude. Just ignore me." And so I put headphones in and I watched it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I laughed very much out loud as soon as that part of the video happened.
That's
and
awesome.
Everybody stared at me like I was an idiot.
No, I love that. Here's that sound, by the way. We're gonna play it every time. Maybe not. We'll see. But Bobby, it's always good having you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for another episode of Bobby's Science Moment, and we'll see you then. Bye. All right. I don't know why I was so quick there at the end.
Hey, that's what you do.
It is. I've been trying to be less of that lately, but today it didn't.
Oh, really?
It didn't stick.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know. It's a thing that I guess I'm known for, but now I'm trying to break expectations. You know, I don't know. Who knows? I'll probably keep doing it. Let's let's get out of here.
It'll get weird if you don't.
Yeah, I agree. So tonight, if you listened to the Monday show last week with my daughter Carter and I, you may have heard a commitment that
a promise. Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna do makeup on me before the show. We are sticking to the commitment, and that is happening today. Not only am I going to show up to the show all made up, she's going to do it on camera as a separate thing. Yeah. So if you guys want to see the process of me getting makeup, today's your day, and it won't be live streamed, that part of it, but it will be on YouTube after the fact. So we'll just have Kim film it or something like that. I don't know.
There you go.
Anyway, that's today at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, so check that out. Brian, you got anything going on you want to mention?
I got nothing. Hoping to. It's been such a tumultuous couple weeks with COVID and people in the house and guests and stuff like that. I'm trying to get. I've got a stack of Spider-Man parts that need to be airbrushed, and I want to try and get some of that done today. Because there's like an airport circling bunch of airplanes that all want to come in for a landing and get 3D printed and painted. A whole bunch of statues that I really want to do, and I can't do them until I get done with Spider-Man. So
nice. It's your own personal Die Hard too. You got these planes that just have to
exactly, and that's right. And that reporter dude is up there getting tased by Bonnie Bedelia up in the bathroom, and I just want to get something landed.
That's right. He's according to the Ghostbusters, this man is indeed a penis. All right. Or has no penis, right? Whatever.
No okay. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
That guy was the biggest jerk. All right. Well, that's all well and good. But before we leave today, we like to do it with a song. And I think you probably got one there ready to fire.
I've got one. Friendly Sleet 66, a.k.a. Mike, wrote in and said, 24 years ago today, I walked down the aisle with my wonderful wife, Judy. Since then, she has supported me whenever needed as we learned more about each other and raised 2 awesome kids. She loves Rush, so any cover of them would be great. Thanks for 24 great years, Judy, and thanks also, Brian. Well, you're welcome, Mike. My pleasure.
That's awesome. That's great. Congratulations, you two.
For sure. This came out on a tribute 40th anniversary tribute to Rush's Farewell to Kings. The album came out in 1977, so this came out in 2017. This is a cover by the band Big Wreck, and this is a great version. Starts out very similar. You're thinking it's going to be, I know it. This sounds so much like the original, Brian. I don't know why you're playing it. Give it a second. Trust me. Big Wreck and their cover of Rush's Closer to the Heart.
Excellent. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of TMS.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Oh, geez. That was
the Wednesday edition that